$800 cash card for the fixed income, including Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, and Medicare. When are we going to get it, and what are the updates? I have all the details for you in this video, so let's get into it right now. But if you haven't done so, or if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video so you can join the #1 channel right here on YouTube dedicated to bringing you all the latest updates every single day as it pertains to stimulus checks, the stimulus packages, low income, fixed income, money, benefits, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB, and anything else we can possibly get our hands on right now, as it is a very difficult time. It's very confusing, and there are a lot of changes with everything coming out right now. But don't worry, I'm right here by your side every single day to make sure that you're staying updated with everything going on. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button right down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into this. And really quickly, my wife Corey will be back in just a couple minutes with the new updated list of shoutouts for those names pulled right out of the fan club. So if you're in the fan club, you will be getting a shoutout in one of our videos this week. So very exciting. So with that being said, stay tuned for that, and let's get into it right now. All right, so these $800 cash cards is something that I want to discuss in this video because I've been seeing a lot of comments down in the comment section lately wondering, when are we going to get them? How much are they going to be? Who's going to get them? When are we going to receive them? And what is going on with them? What are the updates? So I want to discuss these $800 cash cards. Really quickly, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, let me quickly explain what these are. So a few months ago, in the fourth quarter of 2021, these cards were actually announced out of some senior Senate Democrats. So here's what the plan was. When these were originally introduced, senior Senate Democrats were coming out and saying, we want to introduce a card anywhere between $600 and $1,000 that'd be sent out to about 63 million beneficiaries. Like I said, low income, fixed income beneficiaries, Social Security, SSDI, survivors, and Medicare, to help them cover some necessary expenses during this time. Well, at the time, like I said, they said that this card would be anywhere between $600 and $1,000. Shortly thereafter, the president came out and, Bernie Sanders came out shortly thereafter and said, let's make it $1,000. Okay, all sounded good, right? Well, then shortly thereafter, the president came out and said, $800. It's going to be an $800 prepaid card. Okay, so that's where it's been ever since. Since the president made that announcement, a few weeks after the original announcement came out, it's been sitting at $800 ever since. So here's what the plan was. In this Build Back Better agenda, remember the stimulus package that we're currently working on right now that has kind of been tabled as of the last couple weeks here? This is the $2 trillion package that's on the table. Well, as a result of that plan, one of the major provisions that they want to do within the plan is expand Medicare benefits, right? So they want to include hearing, dental, and vision coverages. Well, as a result of negotiations, they've unfortunately removed vision coverage and they've removed dental coverage. It only has, as of right now, expansion to hearing coverage for Medicare. However, they've been looking at it and saying, the likelihood of bringing back dental is almost non-existent. It's almost pretty much not going to happen. That one is not in the package, and it's likely never coming back as far as Medicare expansion, simply because it's too expensive. They've also been looking at bringing back vision coverage, and that one's still up in the air right now. They're looking at it, they're working on it, and they may bring back vision coverage, but that again is not a guarantee, but it could potentially be happening. However, when it comes to dental, they've been looking at it and thinking, what can we do? That is what brought up this whole idea of these $800 prepaid cards that would be a cash card that you could use same as cash, right? So you've heard that statement before, right? So essentially what it would be is just a prepaid debit card that you would get and automatically you could use it. What they're saying for would be dental expenses. However, like I've said in so many other videos, how do we know for sure, or how do they know for sure exactly if we use this card on dental or if we go out and use it on groceries or whatever else? Again, I'm not really sure all the parameters on that. There's still a lot of gray areas out there right now when it comes to this $800 prepaid card, but that's what they're saying is that this card would go out to about 63 million people, and then you could use it for your dental expenses because dental is not covered within the Medicare expansion. Therefore, they want to give everybody $800 and just say, here you go, here's $800. This should get you by buy for all your dental expenses. Well, we've talked about that before, and I think all of us know at this time, dental procedures and dental anything is very, very expensive. So $800 would certainly be helpful, but it's not going to get you very far if you needed a few things done, right? Like a crown, for example, is $1,000, $1,200 for a simple crown. That's just one, right? Well, $800 would cover, I guess, the bulk of it, but that's just one. What if you needed a couple, right? Yeah. But anyway, we don't need to go down that road. We've talked about it before. All right, so that's just a quick background of these $800 cards, where they came from, and now let's get into talking about where we currently stand on this, what's going on, when are we getting the cards, who's getting them, all of these questions I continue to receive down in the comments section. So first off, let me lay this out for you. This is part of the Build Back Better agenda. Well, as of right now, the Build Back Better agenda, otherwise known as the President's agenda or the spending bill, the reconciliation bill, this, as of right now, is just on the table. It's not really doing anything. It's essentially just sitting on somebody's desk and not getting anywhere. They're not working on it currently. Negotiations on this package have pretty much stopped as of now. For the last few weeks here, probably the last 3 weeks or so, they've done essentially nothing with it. And they don't intend to do anything with it until the next couple weeks here. So probably about 2 weeks from right now is when they actually intend to bring it to the floor in the Senate. Possibly sooner, but as of right now, it looks like they're out about 2 weeks from right now until they'll actually bring this to the floor and actually start opening it up for debate and talking about it in the Senate. That's the next step because it's already passed through the House. Now it's sitting in the Senate and it's been sitting there for quite a while now. A couple months it's been sitting there in the Senate. So when they bring this to the floor in the Senate, that's going to determine if it actually passes. If it passes, then if the cards are in the bill, then we'd be good to go, right? But if they're not in there, remember, this was originally introduced as out of the senior Senate Democrats. Therefore, if it's not in the House version of the bill, they could simply add it into this bill as a result of one of the provisions out of the senior Senate Democrats. So, as you can kind of see here, there's a lot of steps to go. Number one, they've got to bring the Build Back Better agenda, which is where these cards would be enclosed within the parameters of the Senate, right? They need to bring it there and they need to start debating it. Number two, they need to add the cards in if they're not already in the package. That's not that hard because they were introduced by the senior Senate Democrats, so it shouldn't be that hard to just add them into the package. Number three, they would need to actually pass the package, right? So, if the cards are not currently in the bill right now, they would need to add them into the bill, then they would need to pass it through the Senate, and then they would need to send it back to the House of Representatives because they would technically have made an amendment to the bill, therefore it would need to be passed once again through the House. Then it would need to move on to the President's desk for a signature. So, there's a lot of steps here, as you can see, right? There's a lot of things to do. However, I know it sounds like, well, with that being said, it's never going to happen. That's not necessarily true because all of this is the agenda of Democrats. Well, Democrats also control everything right now, the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So, if they get it through and if they get it passed, it wouldn't be that difficult to get a repass through the House and ultimately the signature from the president, he would sign it right away. That would not be a problem at all. So, even though it sounds like there's a lot to get done right here, yeah, there's a lot to do, and it's going to take some time, but at the end of the day, once they get it passed through the Senate, it would just be a breeze to get it over to the president and actually get a signature on it, because he's already indicated that he would sign it, and ultimately, it's his agenda anyway, so why wouldn't he sign his own plan, right? This is his idea. This is his brainchild, right? So, of course, he's going to be the one to sign it, right? It's his idea. So, yeah, of course. That's what it all comes down to. So, for those of you that have been asking, as far as these $800 cards, this is where we currently stand. It's all in limbo at this time, right here, right now, as we await further action on the Build Back Better agenda in the Senate here, probably in the next 2 weeks or so, possibly earlier, possibly later, but that's the current timeline that we're looking at as of right now when it comes to the Build Back Better agenda and these $800 cards. So, I think what we need to do in the meantime between now and when the Build Back Better agenda is actually brought to the floor in the Senate to open up for debate and talk about and actually pass it through, or maybe not pass it through, we don't really know quite yet. I think we need to focus on these other two stimulus packages that were introduced last week. These are going to be, I think, a little bit more important as of right now, between now and when we talk about the reconciliation bill or the Build Back Better agenda. I think these are going to be the kind of the center of attention going forward, because these are the two new plans, right? These are the new hot thing on the block, and we've got to watch these very close because these are what were introduced just last week. And these may encompass some more spending on a kind of on a stimulus front, right? So as these were introduced, these would be two new stimulus packages that would have stimulus provisions within them to send money out to certain groups. Now, we have to wonder too, are the groups going to include low income, fixed income, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB, anybody in the form of stimulus checks? We don't know all those parameters yet. The stimulus packages are still very new as of right now because they were just introduced. So there could be some other good stuff in there. Even though we have our eyes on these $800 cards and wondering what's going on with them, we may have to remember, too, that these next two stimulus packages may have something even better, that we need to shift our actual focus and wonder, what are these packages going to include? Can we forget about the $800 card for now and focus on maybe a direct cash payment instead in the form of a stimulus check? That'd be way better, right? Because at the end of the day, remember, these $800 cards are supposed to be used for dental. Well, if those parameters are wrapped around it, I've seen the comments down below with some of you saying, forget it, just keep the card. I don't even want it. You know what I mean? So, and then some of you also reach out and said, hey, this would really help me out. I need a crown. I need some fillings, whatever. I need some dental work or, whatever done. And this $800 would be really, really nice and would help me out a ton. I totally agree. It sure would be nice, right? So either way, even if we had to use it at the dentist and, use it for dental, I think we could probably find a use for it somewhere, somehow, probably, maybe, right? I don't know. We could probably find something to do with it. But I think the main focus would be cash payments would be much more helpful right now, because ultimately, if you could just get a cash payment in the form of a stimulus check, that's way more versatile because we can use it for anything. Food, clothes, gas in the car, rent, utilities. Who knows? A new phone, whatever we need, it doesn't really matter. That's what the deal with cash is. It's versatile versus a prepaid card where we're a little bit pigeonholed, where we have to focus and send it on or spend it on one particular thing. Make sense? So anyway, for those of you that have been asking, I hope this clears it up a little bit more for you, lets you know where we currently stand. As of right now, like I said, it's all in limbo. We're waiting on the Build Back Better agenda. That's where the $800 cards would be enclosed. If the bill passes in the Senate, then we're good to go. But until then, we're still in this little bit of a delay for the next couple weeks here until we get further information on the Build Back Better agenda, otherwise known as the $2 trillion reconciliation bill. I hope that answers it. So, with those of you that I'm asking, I hope this answers your question. Please leave your questions or comments down below. I can make a follow-up video if you need me to answer more questions for you. Otherwise, that's what we know as of right now. So, with that being said, make sure to subscribe down below. Share this video with your friends, family, social media. Right down next to the subscribe button, there is a share button. Feel free to share this video or any others here on the channel, as there are about 2,000 videos right here for you to enjoy. So feel free to check those out as well. And with that being said, I'm going to bring Corey in right now. She's going to read the new list of shoutouts in this video, and those names are pulled right out of the fan club. And again, please remember, it is completely optional to be in the fan club. It is not required by any means at all. All of the videos here on the channel are 100% free, always have been, and always will be going forward, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I just want to help you out. But remember, the fan club is just for those people who maybe want a little bit more. There's a link down in the description. Otherwise, at the top of the comment section, there will also be a pinned comment from me if you want to check it out. But again, not required at all. So with that being said, bring Corey in right now. She will read that list for the new shoutouts in this video, and congratulations in advance. I'll catch you later. Thank you so much for watching.
Our shoutouts go to Diana Wilson, Donna Spurgeon, Michael Gomez, Brenda Caballos, Nancy Wiggins, and John Floyd. Thank you for being in the fan club.